Unfortunately, I think that people shy away from activism for simple practical reasons. We are focusing most of our energy on material goods, and we're focusing a lot of our energy on shopping for those material goods, and we're focusing a lot of energy on making sure that we have the right material goods so that we're not scorned by others. And it's a very painful thing for us to look at because it takes away from everything else we really want to do.
I think the capacity to experience something radically new depends on an imaginative frame of mind. And I think that a lot of people might come to critical mass with an expectation that it's going to just be a bike ride with a bunch of people. But even then, even in the most narrow expectations, you're going to be on the street, you're riding down the street, you don't know what's going to happen. And you're going to have a tangibly different experience of the urban environment while you're moving through the city. And so there's a little bit of living that better world's experience in critical mass, which can't help but influence your imagination, because suddenly you've tasted it. You know what it's like to actually be in a new, free space with a bunch of vibrant, interesting, good-looking human beings. Anything could happen. Well, you hope it can.
First time?
Yeah, I just stumbled on it.
Cool. You mean you were riding your bike anyway, and there
Yeah,
it was?
There it was.
Today?
Yeah.
Damn.
Just coming down Market Street.
Where do you live?
GL.
Wow, that's wild. That's really wild. Did you know it existed?
I've heard of it, but I don't really know much about it at all.
So what do you make of it now that you're in it? You're one of.
Cool.
Yeah, cool. What does it feel like?
Pretty together, like a big family.
It started to be so interesting about what would happen at the next critical mass that it became the social highlight of what I was doing at the time. And it was great. It was wonderful to prepare for, and it was magical when it was going on. And then you would think back about how great it was and what you could do next time to make it better or make it different or whatever.
And then a lot of different people began to participate in planning different routes and planning different ways of doing critical mass and having fun with it. And that went on pretty much unendingly all the way until early '97. And then you get through most of first part of '97, you get to June '97 when it goes to Sausalito, as it has generally gone year after year since about the third year. And apparently our mayor, Willie Brown, got stuck in traffic. So he made a very threatening and inflammatory comment that led to a media frenzy in the boring middle news lull of the summer.
The media twisted our participation in that event as making a deal with the city on the route of critical mass. And that was a complete lie. When the headlines hit the papers, the politicians needed somebody to represent critical mass so bad that they portrayed our board as representing critical mass.
It was not possible for the mayor to engineer what would happen with critical mass. How was he going to stop the ride? There just wasn't any way. There's no leadership. There's nobody you can convince to say, okay, don't bring your people out here to ride. And what were they going to do? Arrest everybody? There's just too many people to arrest everybody. And I realized that, and I think the bicyclists realized that, and eventually the mayor's office began to realize that. And then it was a scramble to save face.
And so that real vibrant sense of our independence was obviously under great threat in July. And we showed up down there bent on proving that we weren't answering to them or to anybody. That we were going to have critical mass like we'd always had it. We would go where we want to go, we would leave when we want to leave, and we would do what we want to do.
We had a very productive meeting the other day with the town meeting with the Marina that the route tonight would start at 6:30, and that people would agree to stay on the designated route. There's been a lot. The designated route is going to start at 6:30. A couple of notes about the route tonight. First of all, and this is your route.
They started welcoming us to our own critical mass. What a joke.
So then Martel gets done with his speech, and then the mic becomes open through some weird mismanagement, and people start going up there and, you know, talking, and then this guy got up there, and I was, come on, like, you know, ringing my bell and going, come on, you guys, we voted on our ride, let's go, you know, shring, shring, and they would just not budge, and so I'm like, gee, you know, so I hear that, like, I hear different people going on, I'm like, man, it's an open mic.
Say no to the police route.
Right time from the transmitting terminal, save them.
Get everybody to ohm together. Have a moment of silence. Do something where everyone can agree. Be nice to one another beforehand. You have such power to... All right. I want to all start singing together. One big long ohm, you know, maybe something peaceful, something altogether joyful, perhaps. No, get out of here!
It's like, get off the stage! I'm like, oh my God, you know, I mean, come on, we got this energy and you want to sing a song, which is beautiful in its own way, but it just wasn't the moment, you know?
I'd like to say that we've had a vote, and I think that you guys need to wake up to something, and that is that critical mass is not about the police. It's about bicyclists. And if we ride on a route that we chose, we have the right to do that. We will not have to worry about facilitation if you take responsibility for intersections. You stop if you're worried about getting ticketed. It's not beyond your reach. We voted on it, so let's get out of here and ride our ride.
They said, let's go right now. And everybody just stood there, oh, what do we do now? And they wouldn't leave. There's a lot of us who were agitating very hard for that in the crowd, but there was this dynamic of passivity. You put a stage out in front of people with a sound system, they're going to stand there and stare at it until they're told to leave.
In about 10 minutes, you're going to start a typical San Francisco event. You're going to move around the city. You're going to enjoy yourself. And you're even going to tolerate those who don't want to hear others speak. I'm delighted that the bicyclists of San Francisco sat down with the city and with themselves for the purpose of putting together a program that will consistently make San Francisco the most livable city in the country. I hope you can follow the route. I hope my officers and all others who are assisting, including your monitors, will be as effective as they need to be